clouds of another proud screaming eagle.
Maxwell Taylor. Oh, and this is his book.
That's his book, right. This,
You zoom in on the signature. Signature from Maxwell Taylor, commanding general of the 101st Airborne Division, and Sanford served in it.
this is one of the sergeants. He wrote this book. He did with the Screaming Eagles. That's him. And hold on, I'll show you something else.
Did you know him? Did you know this?
Oh yeah. In fact, he wrote another book. This is about Hell's Highway in Holland.
Right.
And here he wrote this also, I think.
Sanford Sandy Schwaber, 81st Airborne, ATAA Battalion, Glider Unit, 101st Airborne Division. George Koskimarki.
He wrote that. And here's. You saw the bridge to
Bridge to
Flower.
Flower.
My name is in there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that-
We have our own copy.
You have your own copy of that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the glider units. The letter from Colonel. This is the glider. That's me standing in front of it.
That's a Wacko glider?
That's a Wacko glider. In other words, you pick this up, and that's where the troops would go in.
Mm-hmm. That's what you flew into Holland at.
Right. The story. But here, you can read this little part here.
Dear Mr. Schwaber, your photographs arrived about a week ago. I have had several copied, hence the delay in returning them to you. Whether they will be used in the future will depend on the publisher. Should they be used, I will let you know in the book in which they would be used. So yours was one of the gliders whose tow rope was severed by enemy fire en route to Holland. My research uncovered a number that suffered a similar fate. Thank you for your interest, and I hope to meet you at one of the conventions. Sincerely, signed by Colonel James E. Mrazek of Chevy Chase, Maryland.
Many years ago.
He was a colonel in the 101st Airborne.
He was in the glider units.
What's that? I don't remember. Let me see that shit.
Show this to Dad, the Taylor, General Taylor.
Maxwell Taylor was the commanding general.
Here's another one.
Fighting gliders of World War II. There's a picture of Sanford. Joyce 2, was that with your glider? Joyce 2?
Yeah, right. No, I was just posing one of them, I don't know.
He was in the 101st, right?
Yeah, right.
He was the commander. Here's a picture of this is a C-47?
Right.
But you said that they would tow two? They could tow two at once?
Two at once, right, but this is one of them.
And typically, who severed the rope? Somebody from the C-47?
Well, he would, yeah, the C-47 would give him a signal. Would give him a signal, otherwise it's blinking with his lights.
And the glider pilot was attached to the 101st?
They were separate unit by themselves.
But were they under the command of the...
They could either go to the 82nd or in other words, they're like an Air Force unit by themselves at all.
But were they Air Force soldiers or were they paratroopers?
No, they were just, basically what I heard was this, they were pilots that were washed out, who didn't make the grade.
So they were under the command of the
Air Force.
Of the Air Force.
Of the Air Force.
Did you show them the Purple Heart?
Oh, here, do you want to see the decorations? Yeah, these are the, this is the Purple Heart. Allied Airborne, in other words, this was the Allied Airborne that consists of the 82nd, 17th, 13th, and also of the British.
Oh, that's the first Allied Airborne Army.
This is, if you can see this over here, you got 4 stars. In other words, this represents of each battle, of each campaign.
That's Normandy, Holland, Germany, and what's the last one?
Belgium, you got 4 of them here, I don't remember anymore.
Uh-huh.
But you see that this one over here is an arrow,
Yeah.
a bronze arrow. That's
Yeah.
it being in the first wave, initial wave, that was the one that went into
When
Holland,
you went into
first wave,
Holland.
right.
That's Joe.
I didn't land there, but I took off for there.
Was the fear less without, even though you're in the first wave because you had experience?
No, there's a strange thing. They always told us that they gave us a pill before we went to the glider, and they told us that was emotion. In other words, seasickness because of the motion of the glider. But I don't think it was because I was nauseous. Others were nauseous too. But it relieved you of the tension. I think it was something to calm you. I don't think it was a pill to prevent seasickness.
It was a tranquilizer.
more or less.
Hmm.
But they never told us it was that, but that's what it was.
Because you were always scared.
Oh, you always, you never knew, you were always, but once you landed, once you were in the ground, or once you were in,
That's a Stacy's moment.
more or less, I would say you got accustomed to it, but more or less you were relieved to it already, you know, and, you know, one thing was, to get the hell out of here, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and the worst part was, you would hear the shells going over, you can recognize, at night, you would hear a certain motion of the German plane had a different sound, its motor, and you didn't know what they're gonna drop, if it's coming down on top of you, so you were always concerned, there was always something, it wasn't the artillery shells, it was the German planes that were going over too.
Yeah.
This is you outside
That's me,
at
right.
Purchase
Oh,
Garden?
Yeah, I purchased that, right, this is the presidential unit citation.
And this is my cousin's daughter.
This is Defense of America, because I was 6 months here in the States
cousin's
before I
daughter's
went
daughter.
over. This is the European Theater of Operations, this was the
First fire.
German, you know, occupation of Germany. This I got from the governor of New York State, Nelson Rockefeller. This is from Pataki, I got this thing, here's his decoration.
Now you got it just now, just recently?
Yeah, recently, yeah, because you see it's,
Yeah.
right.
What is why 49er? What is it?
49 was with the, they had within 101st, if you paid $100, you got a life membership. So then they raised it to 150, so if you gave them another $50, in other words, $49,
Oh,
you were up to date with your dues, so they gave you a 49 pin, the 49er. This was a British 6th Airborne Division. I mean, they made me an automatic member of them because I was, in other words, fighting with a unit with the same thing where they were at Holland.
oh.
See, it's like a flying horse or something.
Yeah.
That little emblem on there.
That's the...
Their insignia.
Uh-huh.
Their insignia, right.
This is normal, okay. Now, it was the British... The British went in over at Arnhem Bridge. That was
Right.
the 1st Airborne. The
Yeah, British First Airborne, right.
And that was all together part of the Allied Airborne
Oh,
Army.
yeah, right. 17th, they were all combined in that unit. And this is our regular.
That's 91st, yeah.
See this direction here? Did I send you a copy of that? This is, I got this by the. Yeah, Julie, we just told you. Mitch.
Okay.
And the Jewish war veterans.
Yeah, you sent us a copy of that.
Yeah.
That's great. So you did a lot of service
Wow,
work
Mitch.
once you came out.
I have something here for you. Mitch,
Okay.
I'm giving you this.
Best wishes to my grandnephew Mitch from Uncle Sanford, 8/15/99.
See the
Pictures of-
reading underneath it?
Yeah, June 1945, Sanford Schwaber, first Jew to sit in Hitler's lawn chair at the Eagle's Nest, Berchtesgaden, Germany. Look at that.
Show it to there.
I'll tell you something funny.
There he is. Well, you smoking a cigar, Sanford? Yeah, smoking a cigar.
Hitler's Eagle's Nest retreat, Berchtesgaden, Bavarian Alps, Germany.
Look how happy he was there.
So this is basically at the border of Germany and Austria, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is it.
Friend took us out to Jones Beach. We were walking, and I don't think it was really wonderful.
Something
So
here.
we took her around the kitchen. She snaps a picture, and the other couple walking alongside.
This is from you.
Yes.
What did he say? What did he
I
say?
don't know what whatever, he
So
said
alike.
something that
You can
really
see this in
warmed
a-
me, hung it
See this
up.
in a light, yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Mitch realized it.
Yeah.
Carl putting on his film.
Mm-hmm.
See, now I got
Did you have that Jewish star?
Yeah.
That's the, you said inside, umbrella tore off?
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ah,
here it
that's
is. Here it is. Here, read it. I can't believe you read the article now, see?
This emblem, signifying the wearer as a Jew, was forced upon the Jewish people by the German Nazi government during World War II. It was removed from the jacket of a Dutch Jew in the town of Vechel, Holland, by Sanford Schwaber. I informed this Jewish man that he was now free and did not need to wear this emblem, as the 101st Airborne Division of the U.S. Army had liberated the southern part of the Netherlands. This took place during September to November 1944.
Here.
Retiring, Julie?
Here is something else. I want to show you something.
About your age.
Here it is.
And he says he has somebody there that helps him out, you know. Nice guy.
Read the whole story.
Sanford Schwaber, Sandy, born November 20th, 1914, Brooklyn, New York. Entered the U.S. Army September 23rd, 1943, Camp Upton, New York. Trained at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and arrived in England May 11th, 1944. Joined the 101st Airborne Division, Screaming Eagles, Parachute and Glider Divisions. Awards medals: Purple Heart, Bronze Arrowhead for Holland's campaign, Belgian Fourragère, Wilhelm's Order of Netherlands, EAME Service Medal, Good Conduct Medal, American Service Medal, World War II Victory Medal, Distinguished Unit Citation, Army of Occupation of Germany Medal, and 4 Battle Stars for Normandy. Central Europe, Rhineland and Ardennes, Alsace. Here are the 4 stars, Sanford. Normandy, Central Europe, Rhineland, and Ardennes, Alsace. During airborne invasion of Holland, September 17, 1944, his glider was hit by enemy fire and he crash-landed in Ghent, Belgium. He was knocked unconscious and received permanent injury to his left eye. Evacuated to Canadian Field Hospital, and he pressured medical officers into not evacuating him to England but allowing him to rejoin his outfit fighting in Thon, Holland. Received honorable discharge December 31st, 1945 with the rank of corporal. Founder and president of a food processing company from 1949 to 1991 and is now retired. Member of Brooklyn Post 2 JWV and past post commander, life member of the Jewish War Veterans of the USA, 101st Airborne Division Association, and life member and charter member of New York chapter of the 101st Airborne Division Association. Married to Bernice since 1940. What's your maiden name, Bernice?
Bernstein.
Oh, yes, it was Bernstein.
Bernstein. Since 1940, has son Robert, daughter Fern, 2 grandchildren, Michael Bryan and Stacy Lynn Schwaber.
The
uniform forget.
I walk out of the house
Come on,
one day.
Julie, what are you doing to me?
Yeah. Just
Put it
like
on.
that. Take
I can't wear it. It's not gonna be on. Come on.
This is the actual uniform? This is the
That's the
uniform
uniform
you'll
I
follow?
wanted Julie's bar
That's what he
mitzvah.
brought to my bar mitzvahs. He came in like that. The bar mitzvahs, everybody went wild.
You know, son, they'll say, who's that old fool?
No, that's special. That's personal history.
You know? Isn't that so?
This is the actual uniform.
This is my
He came in with all these
This
ribbons.
is the actual hat?
That, yeah. This is the hat.
Came in with all these ribbons, all these medals. Look at all that brass.
I'll tell you, the password once and for anybody is airborne all the way.
One of them from Queen Wilhelmina of
This is
Holland.
Queen Wilhelmina.
Yeah,
This
all
one
right.
is from France and one is from Belgium. I don't remember anymore. Here's the glider with a star on it. See the bronze star? The glider there? There's the purple heart emblem.
To see the 101st.
Yeah. So you have something to remember about about an uncle, huh?
I walked out of the house one day and there's a Speeding Eagle walker guard in his uniform on, and I'm behind.
And the before I could send it home, the command wanted this up at headquarters. This was a book about Nazi Germany, and was written by an American who wrote all about this thing, all in pictures and everything else. They took this and they held it for a few months, and then they gave it back to me. But they were very much interested in it.
It was written by an American who was
Yeah.
a German Nazi sympathizer.
Yeah, right. On that. And then I got this from a home too. The Olympics in 1936.
Yeah, that's Hitler's
Wow.
The
Olympics.
Hitler's all that, the Olympics and everything, the pictures and everything else in here. Look how they pasted in the photographs in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably doesn't have anything about Jesse Owens.
Yeah, he's in here too.
Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's somewhere in here. Yeah. You have to go through it to
Was
look
that in
through it.
Munich, the Olympics?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, in Munich or
Yeah, in Berlin. In Berlin. It was in Berlin. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
what made it
Jesse
famous.
Owens is in here
The
somewhere.
Munich Olympics was 72.
It's in here. I remember seeing Jesse Owens in here.
We have to go.
Starting
What do
with,
you want me in? I'm not a warrior.
well, it's all right. The whole family is here.
What do you want me to hold this picture?
Yeah, well, then you have a picture of the older generation and you, and then the younger generation. Okay, so are you recording, Cookie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're concluding now the interview with Sanford and Bernice. Sanford is holding up a picture of a cousin of his father's,
So it's in the Prussian army.
uniform in the Prussian army, and Sanford standing by a picture of his son Bobby in uniform. And this completes the oral history of Sanford military experiences during World War II. Thank you very